human war fleet appears in the war zone, destroys the enemy without any warning. The war zone stretched across the outer edge of the Vega system. Asteroids drifted slowly in the cold darkness, and abandoned space stations floated like dead eyes in the black void. It was quiet now, too quiet. The silence was heavy, almost unnatural. Commander Luke Harper of the Starbound adjusted his uniform and looked through the large viewport at the alien fleets hovering near the asteroid belt. He could see the sharp lines of the Xylar warships, their dark metal reflecting the faint light of distant stars. They moved in tight formations, slow but purposeful, as if they were confident in their strength. Luke's fingers tapped lightly on the control panel. He could feel the tension in the air on his ship. The Starbound was a Vindicator-class flagship, built for long-range strikes and deep space survival. Its hull was reinforced with layered alloys, strong enough to resist the plasma storms that sometimes tore across the Vega system. Luke had led many missions before, but the reports about the Xylar fleet had made even him uneasy. "Commander," said Lieutenant Anna Foster, his second-in-command, walking up behind him. Her steps were quiet on the metal floor. "Sensors show no unusual activity yet, but the communication channels are strangely silent. No signals from the enemy, no warnings from the colonies. It's almost too quiet." Luke nodded slowly. "I've noticed that too. Too quiet usually means something big is coming." He turned to her and gave a tight smile. "I hope I'm wrong." Anna frowned. "The colonies are on edge. People are scared, Commander. The Xylar Dominion has been taking systems one by one. They're ruthless." Luke sighed and looked back at the viewport. The Xylar ships were enormous. Unlike human designs, which favored speed and versatility, the aliens relied on sheer size and firepower. Their cruisers had thick hulls, covered in strange crystalline armor that absorbed energy in ways human shields could not. And they had the numbers. Hundreds of ships spread across the belt, each capable of destroying a small colony in minutes. "Numbers don't win wars, Anna," Luke said quietly. "Strategy and timing do. We just need to wait for the right moment." Meanwhile, far below in the control hub, Engineer Noah Jensen worked on the ship's energy core. His hands moved quickly over the control panels as he monitored power flows and shield stability. The starbound systems hummed like a living thing. Noah liked the quiet hum. It was comforting. He had been on countless missions, and he knew that when the systems hummed quietly, everything was calm. But he also knew that calm never lasted long in war zones like this one. Noah glanced at the communication screen. Messages from the colonies flickered in rapid succession. Each one carried a similar tone: fear, uncertainty, and a quiet hope that humanity might still find a way to fight back. Noah shook his head. The colonies were counting on them, and he hated the thought of failing. In the Vega system, the Xylar commanders felt confident. Their leader, High Warlord Zyrak, moved through his flagship with long, precise steps. His crew of alien officers prepared their weapons systems and ran scans on the empty stretches of space. Zyrak had never met a human fleet he respected. To him, humans were weak, disorganized, and predictable. He smiled, sharp teeth glinting in the dim light. "They won't resist," he said in his deep, rasping voice. "They always flee or surrender. Let them hide in the colonies. We will destroy them quickly. There is no human strength to match us." On the Starbound, Luke They would wait for their prey to fall into the perfect trap before striking. Luke's stomach tightened. "Anna," he said, turning to her, "do you think they suspect anything?" Anna shook her head. "No. If anything, they're overconfident. They think humanity's finished. But that makes them careless." Luke gave a small nod. That carelessness might be the only chance they had. He moved over to the tactical display. It showed a three-dimensional map of the asteroid belt, with clusters of Xylar ships moving slowly through the belt's gaps. Luke traced a path with his finger. "If we can lure part of their fleet closer to the jump point, we might be able to cut them off. But we need precision. Any mistake could cost lives." Across the Vega system, civilians watched the skies from their observation domes. Families huddled together in the darkened rooms of the colonies, listening to news reports of alien attacks on nearby systems. Children didn't understand the danger, but they sensed the tension in the adults' voices. Outside, small defense drones patrolled the stations, their lights flickering as they scanned the empty space for threats. Among them was a young officer named Daniel Reed. He had been stationed on the Vega colony for 2 years, and this was his first real taste of war. He stared at the viewport, imagining the alien fleet above the asteroid belt. He had heard stories of human ships being destroyed, fleets disappearing without a trace, but he also heard rumors of hidden human forces that had survived, preparing for a return. Daniel hoped those rumors were true. Back on the Starbound, Luke checked the crew roster. Each officer had a role, and each role was critical. Olivia Grant, the captain of one of the squadron's smaller ships, was known for her daring maneuvers. She could pilot through asteroid fields where no one else dared. Lieutenant Ryan Hayes, another officer, specialized in energy weapons and had a reputation for hitting precise targets, even in the chaos of battle. Luke thought of the human crews scattered across the system. Many had trained for years, living in isolation, waiting for the moment when humanity would fight back. And now, that moment was close. Noah's fingers moved over the controls again, adjusting the power distribution. Shields hummed louder as he rerouted energy to the forward cannons. He glanced at the tactical display and saw the distant Xylar ships. They moved methodically, unaware of what might be coming. Noah smiled slightly. "They won't know what hit them," he muttered. In the dark void, the first signs of human ships appeared on long-range sensors. They were small at first, tiny blips against the black backdrop of space, but they moved with purpose. Captain Olivia Grant led the squadron in a tight formation, weaving through the asteroid belt with precision. Each ship carried advanced weaponry shielded against the energy attacks the Xylar favored. Luke and Anna watched the sensors carefully. "They're coming faster than expected," Anna said. Luke nodded. "Good. We need them here before the Xylar realize the fleet is ready." For hours, the tension built. The Xylar moved closer to the jump point, their confidence growing. They sent out scouting drones scanning for hidden ships but found nothing. They laughed at the empty void, mocking the humans they believed were gone. Daniel Reed watched from his station on the colony. His heart pounded as he saw more blips appear on the sensor screens. He didn't understand everything he was seeing, but he felt hope. Maybe humans were not as weak as the Xylar believed. Luke turned to Anna and spoke quietly. "Remember, patience. Timing is everything. One wrong move, and the advantage is gone." "But if we do this right," he let the words hang. For the Xylar commanders, it seemed like ghosts had appeared in the dark. Commander Luke Harper watched the fleet on the Starbound's tactical display. His hands moved quickly, issuing orders to the ships in precise coordination. "Ryan, take your frigate squadron and flank the left side. Anna, direct the cruisers to the forward point. Noah, monitor shield strength. We move together, strike together." The alien fleets were still confident. High Warlord Zyrak did not believe humans could return in force. "Show me their ships," he demanded. His lieutenants scrambled to identify the new signals, but their scans were confusing. The readings were strange, unlike any human technology they had seen before. "They appear suddenly, my lord," one officer said nervously. "There are hundreds, maybe more." "They are not responding to any scans." Zyrak's sharp teeth bared in a grin. "Impossible. Humans are weak. They cannot hide fleets of this size. We will crush them as easily as the rest." But he did not know that the humans had been planning this for years. The fleet was equipped with stealth shields, advanced sensors, and weapons designed to bypass Xylar defenses. Luke had trained his crews for this exact moment. Every human pilot knew the plan and their role in it. They had waited patiently, and now the Xylar would pay for underestimating them. "Commander," Anna said, her voice tense, "they're moving closer to the jump point. If we act now, we can hit the first wave before they can react." Luke nodded. "Do it. Fire at will." The first volley erupted suddenly. Human ships fired plasma torpedoes and energy cannons in perfect synchronization. The attack was fast, precise, and devastating. Alien ships exploded before they could respond, their shields failing instantly under the coordinated assault. Ryan Hayes piloted his frigate through the chaos, weaving between asteroids and enemy fire. He felt the rush of adrenaline as he fired his weapons, targeting engines, shield generators, and communication arrays. Every shot counted. Every strike weakened the alien formation. On the starbound, Noah monitored the fleet's energy distribution. He redirected power to the weapon systems, ensuring that each human ship could fire continuously. "Shield stable, weapons fully charged," he reported. "We're holding the line perfectly," High Warlord Zyrak shouted in anger as explosions rippled through his fleet. "What is this? How can humans strike so fast? They should not exist in these numbers." Olivia Grant's voice came over the comms, calm but firm. "This is humanity. We have returned." Fighters launched from their cruisers, trying to intercept human ships, but the humans were faster. They dodged, countered, and struck with deadly accuracy. Each alien ship that fell created panic in the fleet. Confusion spread like wildfire. Luke watched as the battle unfolded. "Anna, target their command ships next. If we take out their leaders, the rest will scatter."
Anna nodded.
She directed the cruisers to focus their fire on the largest Xylar ships. The alien command vessels tried to defend themselves, but it was too late. The human fleet moved as one, a single machine of destruction. The Xylar were unprepared, and their confidence was shattered. Daniel Reed on the colony watched the battle through long-range sensors. His heart raced as he saw the alien ships burning and exploding. The humans were winning, and it was beautiful to see. For the first time in years, he felt hope. Back on the Aurora, Olivia watched as a massive cruiser erupted in flames. Debris floated in the void, and she could see smaller alien ships trying to escape. "They won't get far," she said. "We have them surrounded." The human fleet continued to press the attack. Boarding drones launched from the larger ships, attaching to alien vessels. Within moments, human soldiers entered the ships, cutting communication lines and disabling weapons. The Xylar crews were caught off guard, unable to coordinate their defense. "Captain," Ryan said, "our squadron has cleared their left flank. We can push through to the center." Olivia smiled. "Do it. Take the center. Don't let any escape." The Xylar commanders panicked. Ships collided with each other in confusion. Energy beams fired blindly, missing their targets. The aliens had never faced an enemy who moved with such unity and precision.
On the starbound, Luke issued another set of orders. Deploy the interceptors.
"Cut off any fleeing ships. This fight ends here." Human interceptors darted through the battlefield, striking fleeing alien vessels with pinpoint accuracy. The Xylar ships that tried to retreat were destroyed before they could jump to another system. Explosions lit the dark void, and the sound of destruction, though silent in space, resonated in the minds of everyone watching. Noah grinned as he monitored the energy systems. "We're doing it. We're actually doing it." Luke kept his focus on the strategic map. "We're not done yet. Keep pressing." "Every strike must count. We don't give them a chance to recover." The battle raged for hours, but the humans held the advantage at every turn. Their coordination, speed, and precision overwhelmed the Xylar. Alien ships fell one after another, and the once confident enemy fleet began to scatter in chaos. High Warlord Zyrak screamed orders that could not be followed. His fleet had no leaders left, and confusion had spread to every ship. How is this possible?" he demanded. His voice shook with rage and fear. "Humans should not exist in these numbers. They should not be capable of this." Luke, watching the destruction, felt a mix of relief and pride. The fleet moved exactly as he had hoped. Every ship was working together, every pilot performing their role perfectly. Humanity had struck without warning, and the result was clear. The Xylar were losing. Olivia's voice came over the comms again. "Luke, the center command ships are down. The remaining fleet is in retreat." Luke nodded. "Good. Anna, track them. Make sure none escape. Ryan, keep your squadron tight." No mistakes. The battle began to wind down. Only a few Xylar ships remained, fleeing through the asteroid belt. Human ships pursued them briefly, ensuring they could not regroup. Then, the fleet pulled back, reforming into tight formations. On the starbound, Luke looked at the destruction left behind. The alien fleet had been powerful, but it had been no match for human strategy and determination. He felt a sense of satisfaction, but he also knew this was only the beginning. The Xylar would recover eventually. Humanity needed to be ready for the next challenge. Daniel Reed on the colony cheered silently as he watched the last alien ship disappear. The humans had won the battle. The Vega system was safe, for now. Olivia Grant looked at her crew, her eyes shining with pride. Well done, everyone. Humanity has returned. Make no mistake, we've made a statement today. We are not weak. We are not finished, and anyone who underestimates us will regret it. The human fleet moved back toward the jump point, silent again, but stronger than ever. The Xylar had been destroyed, but the message was clear. Humanity had returned, and they were a force to be reckoned with. Noah leaned back in his seat, exhausted but happy. We did it. We actually did it. Luke Harper, still watching the tactical map, smiled slightly. Yes, we did. But the war is far from over. We must be ready. The galaxy has just started noticing humanity again, and they will not forget. As the fleet moved through the dark void, stars passing silently by, every human on board felt the weight of what they had accomplished. They had struck without warning, destroyed a mighty enemy, and reminded the universe that humans were not weak. They were resilient, clever, and capable of incredible things. The Vega system was safe, the colonies were inspired, and the humans had shown the galaxy that their return was unstoppable. And somewhere far away, the remnants of the Xylar fleet fled, carrying the knowledge that humanity had returned, and they would face them again. The remnants of the Xylar fleet fled through the asteroid belt, but the humans did not give them a moment to breathe. Lieutenant Ryan Hayes piloted his frigate squadron with precision, weaving through the debris of destroyed cruisers and floating wrecks. His eyes were sharp, scanning the void for any signs of movement. Each alien ship that tried to escape was intercepted by a human vessel before it could jump to another system. "Target their engines!" Ryan ordered his squadron. "Disable them before they can escape." His ships moved like a single organism, each pilot anticipating the other's actions. Plasma bolts streaked across space, striking alien engines and causing them to flare in bright bursts of light. The Xylar were panicked now, and their coordination had collapsed. Ships collided, shields failed, and weapons misfired. Chaos ruled the battlefield, and the humans were in complete control. On the starbound, Commander Luke Harper monitored every strike. He could see the Xylar commanders attempting to regroup, but it was futile. "Anna, target the remaining command vessels," he ordered. "If we take them out, the rest will scatter completely." Anna Foster nodded and sent orders to the cruisers. They aligned themselves for a coordinated attack, their weapon systems glowing as they fired on the largest Xylar ships. Explosions erupted in sequence, each blast tearing apart the enemy's hulls. Alien crews tried to respond, but it was too late. The humans moved faster, struck harder, and thought smarter than the Xylar ever could. Daniel Reed watched from the Vega colony. The display screens showed the Xylar ships burning and spinning through space. He had never seen anything like this. The humans were methodical, precise, and unstoppable. He felt awe and pride. Humanity had returned, and they were proving it in the most spectacular way imaginable. Captain Olivia Grant piloted the Aurora through a narrow cluster of asteroids. Her co-pilot, James Carter, monitored the energy shields. "We're taking heavy fire from a cruiser ahead," he reported. Olivia's hands moved quickly over the controls. "We're not slowing down. Ryan, target that cruiser's weapons array. Disable it now." Ryan's squadron responded immediately. Precision shots hit the alien cruiser, knocking out its main cannons. The ship lurched, and its shields flickered before failing entirely. Boarding drones were launched from Olivia's ship, attaching to the cruiser and cutting through the hull. Human soldiers entered the alien vessel, securing it from inside. Luke watched the tactical map and smiled slightly. Perfect. That's how we do it. Cut off their power, disable their weapons, take control, keep the pressure on, never let them recover. Noah Jensen monitored the energy core from the starbound. He adjusted the distribution to favor weapons and shields, ensuring that every human ship could maintain its firepower while staying protected. "Shield stable," he reported. "Weapon systems are optimal. We're holding the line perfectly." High Warlord Zyrak's voice rang out in frustration.
How can this be? They should be weak.
They should be destroyed. Yet, they move as one. They strike with precision. They anticipate every move. Zyrak's officers struggled to respond. Many had lost their ships or their command centers. Confusion and fear spread through the fleet. The Xylar were learning the hard way that humans were not like any other enemy they had faced. On the Aurora, Olivia led the attack against a cluster of fleeing alien frigates. The pilots moved through the debris with skill and courage. Plasma bolts struck the alien ships, tearing through their hulls and disabling engines. One by one, the Xylar vessels fell, either destroyed or captured by the humans. Ryan Hayes looked around at his squadron. "We're clearing the left flank. Push to the center now," Olivia nodded. "Good. Move as a unit. Every shot counts." The Xylar fleet tried to form a defensive line, but it was too late. The humans had already broken their formations. Every ship acted like part of a larger strategy, moving in perfect harmony. The aliens' numerical advantage meant nothing when faced with such coordination and precision. Daniel Reed on the colony continued to watch, unable to look away. He saw alien ships spinning out of control, explosions lighting the void. Every strike seemed carefully planned, and the humans did not waste a single moment. The fleet was more than just firepower. It was intelligence, strategy, and determination in motion. On the starbound, Luke gave another order. "Anna, send the interceptors to finish off the remaining cruisers. Ryan, keep your squadron tight and cover the center. Olivia, coordinate with them and make sure nothing escapes." The interceptors darted through space like lightning. Small but fast, they hit fleeing ships with pinpoint accuracy. Xylar vessels that tried to jump were destroyed before they could complete their maneuvers. The humans left no room for retreat. Olivia's voice came over the comms again. "Luke, the center command vessels are down. The remaining fleet is scattering in chaos." Luke nodded. "Good. Continue pressure. Make sure they cannot regroup. We must show them that humanity is not to be underestimated." The human fleet moved like a tide of steel through the asteroid belt. Every strike was precise, every action coordinated. Alien ships that had survived the initial attack were now overwhelmed by sheer human strategy and determination. Ships collided, shields failed, and explosions erupted in rapid succession. Noah's hands flew over the controls, redirecting energy to weapons and shields. "All systems holding." "They cannot break through." Ryan Hayes fired another volley of plasma bolts, targeting an alien cruiser attempting to escape through a narrow asteroid gap. The shot struck perfectly, hitting weak points in the hull. The cruiser exploded, sending shards of metal spinning through the void. Olivia piloted the Aurora alongside Ryan's squadron. "Good work, everyone. Keep moving. Target their weapons and engines. Do not give them a chance to recover." The Xylar were defeated not by sheer numbers, but by human skill and strategy. Every maneuver had been calculated. And every shot had a purpose. The humans moved like a single organism, striking with deadly efficiency. Daniel Reed watched as the last of the Xylar command vessels were destroyed. The remnants of the alien fleet fled in disarray, trying to escape through distant jump points, but the humans had already anticipated their routes. Interceptors and frigates blocked every path. One by one, the enemy ships were either destroyed or captured. On the starbound, Luke Harper allowed himself a small smile. Humanity had proven itself in this battle. They had struck without warning, used strategy and coordination, and destroyed a powerful enemy fleet. But he knew this was just the beginning. The Xylar would return, stronger and angrier. Humanity had to be ready. Olivia Grant piloted her ship through the calm after the storm. The debris of alien ships floated around them, a testament to the power and precision of the human fleet. She looked at her crew and nodded. We did it. Humanity has shown the galaxy we are not weak. We are not finished. Ryan Hayes leaned back in his chair, exhausted but proud. It's amazing. We just destroyed their fleet, without warning. They never knew what hit them. Anna Foster observed the tactical map. We've taken out most of their ships and the rest are in retreat. This is a complete victory. Noah Jensen smiled. Energy systems are still stable. Weapons ready. If they try to come back, we'll be ready. Luke Harper stood quietly looking at the stars beyond the viewport. He knew the victory was significant, but he also knew the galaxy would now see humanity differently.
Humans were no longer weak, no longer underestimated.
Their return had begun with fire and precision, and the universe would remember it. The remnants of the Xylar fleet retreated, carrying the memory of their defeat. They had underestimated humans, and it had cost them dearly. The Vega system was safe for now, and the colonies could breathe easier. Daniel Reed on the colony let out a long breath. Humanity had returned, and they had done so in a way no one had expected. The humans were not just survivors, they were fighters, strategists, and a force to be reckoned with. Olivia Grant looked out at the debris field, feeling pride and determination. We've sent a message today. Anyone who underestimates humanity will regret it. And we're just getting started. Luke Harper turned to his crew. Remember this feeling. Remember how we moved as one, struck together, and destroyed a mighty enemy. The galaxy will test us again, but now they know humanity is not weak. Humanity is here, and we will not back down. Noah Jensen adjusted the controls one last time. All systems stable. Ready for the next challenge. Ryan Hayes smiled at Olivia. We're unstoppable when we work together. They'll never expect the next strike. The human fleet regrouped in formation, silent but victorious. The battle had been won, but the war was far from over. The Xylar had learned a painful lesson. Humanity could not be ignored. As the ships moved through the asteroid belt, stars passing silently by, every human aboard felt a sense of accomplishment and pride. They had fought together, struck with precision, and proven that humanity could face even the most powerful enemies and emerge victorious. The Vega system was safe, the colonies inspired, and humanity had shown the galaxy their true strength. And somewhere far away, the remnants of the Xylar fleet carried the knowledge that humans had returned, and that they would face them again, stronger than ever. The battlefield slowly grew quiet. The explosions faded, and only drifting metal and broken alien ships remained. The stars shone calmly again, as if the battle had never happened. The human fleet held position near the asteroid belt, their ships moving into clean and ordered formations. No one cheered. No one celebrated loudly. The humans stayed focused and calm, knowing that victory did not mean the war was over. On the bridge of the starbound, Commander Luke Harper stood near the main viewport. He looked at the wreckage of the Xylar fleet floating in space. What had once been a powerful force was now scattered debris. Luke felt pride, but also responsibility. Humanity had shown its strength, and now the galaxy would be watching. Anna Foster stood beside him, reviewing the final reports. "Enemy losses are massive," she said. "Most of their fleet is destroyed. A few ships escape, but they are badly damaged and scattered. They will not be a threat for a long time." Luke nodded. "Good. Let them run. They need to carry this message back to their leaders." Anna looked at him.
A message? Yes, Luke said calmly.
"That humans are not weak, that attacking us has consequences."
Across the fleet, captains reported in one by one.
Captain Olivia Grant guided the Aurora into formation, her ship bearing minor damage but fully operational. She leaned back in her seat and took a deep breath. The battle was over, and the silence felt strange after so much movement and tension. James Carter checked the ship's systems. Hull damage is minimal. Shields held better than expected.
Olivia smiled slightly.
"That's because everyone did their job. We trained for this. And it worked." Ryan Hayes' frigate squadron regrouped nearby. His voice came over the fleet channel. All targets neutralized in our sector. No enemy movement detected. Luke responded, "Good work, Ryan. Hold position and stay alert." Noah Jensen leaned back in his chair in the engineering section of the Starbound. His hands were tired, and his eyes burned from staring at screens for hours. But he felt satisfied. The energy core was stable, the systems had performed perfectly, and no major failures had occurred. He looked around at his team and nodded. "You all did great. The fleet stayed strong because of you." On the Vega colony, people gathered in observation halls and public rooms. They watched the battle's end through delayed sensor feeds. When the last alien ship disappeared from the screens, silence filled the room. Then, slowly, people began to speak. Some cried. Some laughed. Some simply sat down, overwhelmed. Daniel Reed stood near the front of the room, staring at the stars. He had watched the humans destroy a powerful enemy without mercy and without fear. For the first time since the war began, he felt safe. He whispered to himself, "We're not alone anymore."
Back in space, Luke ordered the fleet to begin recovery operations.
Rescue ships moved out to collect escape pods and secure captured alien vessels. Olivia watched the stars as the fleet remained in formation. "Do you think they'll listen?" James asked. "Some will," she replied. "Others won't. But they'll all remember. Ryan Hayes joined the channel. My father used to say that respect in the galaxy isn't given. It's earned." Luke heard that and allowed himself a small smile. He was right. The fleet remained in the system for several hours, scanning for threats and ensuring the scene routes were clear. Then, slowly, the order was given to prepare for departure. "Fleet," Luke said, "we return home. But stay ready. This victory will echo across the stars." Ships aligned toward the jump point. Engines warmed and energy fields began to glow. One by one, the human ships vanished into the jump corridor, leaving behind a silent battlefield and a powerful memory. On the Vega colony, people watched the human fleet disappear. Some waved. Some saluted. Children pointed at the stars, asking questions about the ships and the people who flew them. Daniel Reed turned away from the viewport, his heart full. He knew he would remember this day forever. Humanity had stood up to the galaxy and survived. Far away in damaged Xylar vessels limping through space, survivors spoke in quiet fear. They described human ships that appeared without warning, moved with perfect unity, and destroyed everything in their path. Their stories spread quickly through the Xylar Dominion. "They fight like one mind," one survivor said. "They do not panic. They do not hesitate." Those words would reach alien leaders and war councils, and those leaders would think twice before challenging humanity again. Back aboard the Starbound, Luke sat in his command chair, finally allowing himself to relax. Anna stood nearby, her posture still alert. "We've changed things," she said. "Yes," Luke replied, "and now we must be ready for what comes next." Noah Jensen secured the engineering systems and powered down non-essential equipment. He smiled quietly. Humanity had proven its skill, not just in battle, but in preparation and unity. Olivia Grant reviewed her crew, tired faces, but proud ones. "Get some rest," she told them. "You've earned it." Ryan Hayes leaned back in his chair, staring at the stars as they stretched into lines during the jump. "They'll tell stories about this battle," he said softly. "They should," Olivia replied. "It's a story worth telling." As the human fleet traveled through the jump corridor, a sense of purpose filled every ship. They had defended their people, protected their colonies, and shown the galaxy what humanity could do when pushed too far. The war was not over. New enemies would rise, old ones would return. But now, humanity was ready. The galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humans do not disappear quietly. Humans do not surrender easily. And when humans fight together, they change the fate of the stars. In the distance, the asteroid belt shimmered as small lights moved among the rocks. Human ships, hidden until now, were preparing for the moment they would strike. The Xylar, confident and careless, did not notice the danger slowly approaching. Noah adjusted the core one last time.
Energy levels optimal, he reported. All systems ready.
Luke took a deep breath. He looked at the viewport, at the calm and silent alien fleet. He felt a mixture of fear and excitement. This was the moment they had been waiting for. Humanity was about to return to the galaxy in force, and the universe would soon remember the name of their species. Outside, the star seemed brighter now. The calm before the storm was almost over. And in that quiet, human hearts beat faster, ready for the fight they had been preparing for. The human fleet moved like shadows among the asteroids. Captain Olivia Grant's squadron led the way, flying in perfect formation. Her ship, the Aurora, cut silently through the void, engines glowing faintly as it traced the path Luke Harper had planned. Each ship was sleek, built for speed and precision. Every pilot knew the mission: strike hard, strike fast, and leave the Xylar fleet in chaos. On the bridge of the Aurora, Olivia's hands moved over the controls with calm confidence. She glanced at her co-pilot, James Carter, who monitored the energy shields. "All systems green," he said. His voice was steady, but his eyes betrayed excitement. It had been years since humans had launched a fleet this large, and finally, it was happening. Olivia nodded. "Good. Keep it that way. We won't get a second chance." Behind them, the rest of the human fleet emerged from the hidden jump point. Ships of every size appeared, from small attack frigates to massive battle cruisers. The Xylar had not seen them coming. Sensors on the alien ships barely picked up the human fleet's energy signatures. Human medical teams prepared to treat wounded crew members. Every action was careful and controlled. "Remember," Luke said over the fleet channel, "we are soldiers, not monsters. We defend humanity. We do not destroy without reason."
Olivia listened and nodded.
She respected Luke's leadership. He was firm but fair, and he understood that power came with responsibility. On one damaged Xylar ship, human boarding teams moved through dark corridors. The alien crew had surrendered. Fear filled their eyes as they were restrained and escorted to secure areas. They had never expected humans to fight like this. To them, humans were supposed to be weak and divided. Now that belief was shattered. By Warlord Zyrak's flagship was among the destroyed vessels. His death would spread quickly through the Xylar dominion. Their leaders would be forced to rethink their plans. Humanity had not just won a battle, they had changed the balance of power. Luke stood quietly as reports came in. "Casualties?" he asked.
Anna checked her data. Minimal.
Far less than expected. Luke closed his eyes briefly, then nodded. "That's good. Very good." He opened a secure channel and prepared a transmission. This message was not just for the Xylar. It was for the entire galaxy. "This is Commander Luke Harper of the human fleet," he said clearly. "To all who are listening, humanity does not seek endless war. We seek survival, freedom, and peace. But we will not be hunted. We will not be erased. Any force that threatens our people will face this response." The message was sent on open channels spreading far beyond the Vega system. On distant worlds, alien governments received the transmission. Some reacted with fear, others with curiosity. Many realized they had misjudged humanity. The humans were no longer a minor species hiding in the shadows. They were organized, intelligent, and capable of overwhelming force.